Welcome back. What I'm about to show you now is how to create your own Kahoots. Sometimes whenever you load up a Kahoot, it's really not maybe suitable for what you want, or it maybe doesn't have the right questions in it, so you can create your own. To do this, we go up to New Kahoots, and here in this box it allows you to create a new Kahoot, and we're going to create a quiz. And the one that we're going to create, we give it a name, and I'm going to call it Circles. And I click on Go, and it takes me to this screen, which allows me to enter in the questions. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what is pi, or the value of pi? You'll notice up here there's a little box which allows you to make it bold, italic, use superscript or subscript. There's also another one here which is specifically for mathematics, and if I click on it you can see that there are there are different options which you can use for Latin, currency, and this is the mathematical symbols. The one thing I did find was that unfortunately it's not easy to write a fraction like this. You have to just type each character in separately. These are the only 3 fractions that you can actually type like this. But there's various options that you can insert into your questions. Okay, if I close it, then I come down to the answers. So I maybe want to put 3.14 here. And I go and click on incorrect, and it makes it the correct answer. So I can type in my other answers, and then that marks that as being the correct answer. You can, if you want, select a no points question. If you want to insert maybe a fun question into it, something that's not academic, you can do that and maybe make it worth no points. Also, the time limit, I might want to increase it to 60 seconds to give them more time to actually answer it. It does go up to 120 seconds in total. Another thing too, I can bring in an image. For example, if you have something that's a mathematical expression that's not easy to do, that you don't have the actual characters within Kahoot, you can just write it out, scan it in, and then drag it into the desktop. So if it's a question maybe involving a lot of roots or mathematical symbols, you can just place it here. Okay, whenever you've done that, then you can add another question, and it goes to question 2, and I might ask, what is the formula for the circumference of a circle? Okay, and I can put the correct answer wherever I want to, and then I can go to these the Greek symbols and select pi, which is here, and r. Then I can put other answers in here, r, and if I want that to be r squared, I can highlight that and raise it up, or 3. And then I can select the correct answer, and I can add another question if I want to. If I've finished, then I can click on Save and Continue. It gives me the questions, and I can reorder them if I want. I can swap them over, and then I can do Save and Continue, and it asks me which language I want it in, whether it's going to be private or public. So if I want, if I don't want other people seeing it, if I just want to use it for myself or for our own school, I can just click and make it private. Then you have to select your primary audience, and I'm going to select school. You can also select the level of difficulty, make it more difficult, more advanced, or beginner. You can put tags in here. say for example you wanted to put geometry in there or whatever tags you want, and then whenever it's looking for specific Kahoots, when someone else is looking for public Kahoots, and if you've made that public, then it will use this to identify which Kahoots to bring up. Okay, we then go save and continue, and once we have finished we can have an overall cover image if we want, or you can put a YouTube video into it which will be displayed in the background as players join the game. Okay, once you have finished, then you can click done, and you can play it or you can preview it. You can also share it with others. If you find a Kahoot that has some questions that you want to use, but maybe others that you want to change, what you can do is, if say for example you wanted to change some questions here, you could go along and you see once you highlight the title, the word duplicate comes up. So you can click on the duplicate and it goes into a draft version, and you can continue editing. You can select along the bottom here which of the questions you wish to edit. So if I want to edit number 3, I click on 3 and I can change the text or whatever I want. So I could change this, for example, to the word fraction originates from the Latin word fractus, which means, and then I keep the rest the same. I then can save and continue, and as you can see the wording has changed here. I can change the order like I was able to do whenever I was creating my own Kahoot, and I can make any other changes that I want to until I'm happy with the quiz and it's the way I want it. I then press save and continue, and then I can change any of these I want. If I want it changed to a private setting or school or whatever the level of difficulty, and then I can press save and continue and then done when I've finished with that. Briefly now we want to look at the statistics which Kahoot produces. So I can click over here to take me back to the main page, and here are my results or recent results of Kahoots which I've played. So if I scan down a bit, I can look at some of the Kahoots which the students have played. I can go down here and look at, say for example, the geometric probability. Okay, so I can download that. It comes into an Excel spreadsheet, and you can see the students have been creative in the names that they've used. It tells you how many correct answers they've got, how many incorrect, what their score is. It also gives you the exact answers which they have given, and you can tell whether they're right or wrong and what sort of answers they're giving. Along the bottom, the tabs, this particular tab is showing the overview. We can click on ratings, and you can see what they didn't actually give any rating there, but you could have seen if they'd said it was fun or did they learn something. I think they've been playing quite a few Kahoots that day, and they didn't bother giving any ratings. Along here at the bottom are the individual questions. They're the answers that they have given. Now this is a very small class, so I know who these are, but you would need to get them to give more sensible names, and so that you could work out who had given particular answers. So you can see who got question 1 right, and you can go ahead then and plan some differentiated learning for those who got that particular question wrong. Well, that's all I intend to do on Kahoots. I just want to finally recap on what we've done. We've covered how to play a game and how to preview a game, how to duplicate and make changes to a game, and how to set up your own game. Just want to remind you that the teacher's version is found at getkahoot.com, and the students' version, which they will put on their cell phone or their iPad, is found at kahoot.it or kahoot.it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something from it. And I really do hope that you enjoy using Kahoot as much as I enjoy using it, and that your students benefit from it as much as my students do. And all that is to say is go practice. Thank you. Bye.